Hello, everyone, and welcome back as always. Yay!
Hi.
We do love this couch.
Yes.
We're going to be watching more Game of Thrones. We get comfy on here. We watch a lot of stuff on this couch, just saying.
That's right.
So we're going to be watching more Game of Thrones histories and lores. We're going to be watching The Field of Fire by Robb Stark. So we get to hear his version now. So it's kind of interesting that they do this. It's our second one that we've seen where they have different perspectives. The other one we saw was The Night's Watch. The history of the Night's Watch with 3 different perspectives. So that was kind of cool, like listening to that and seeing what they had to say. And so learning a lot. So these are really freaking cool. I'm loving the illustrations of them so far. I love how they keep them kind of animated where they pan around. So you kind of like, of course you're staying interested, but it just keeps your eyes going as well as listening.
Yes.
So
And I like the map.
Yeah, and the
The
map,
maps
and
are
it's so
good.
fun
Yeah,
actually
they're
watching to see
good,
where
yeah.
everything is, because I'm really paying attention to those, being like, okay, well, SOs, of course you know where that is, but you're looking at all these like little places, and you're like, okay, well, and you're starting to orient yourself to see where everything is. The houses still confuse me. We were talking about that before on certain battles that are taking place, but when you have House Gardner and all that, I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to like piece everything together. We're following it, but it's just, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's exciting. It's exciting since we're not book readers. Sorry, guys, but thank you for following us and being so nice and giving us information, because we love learning more about this wonderful world. It's so much fun. Shall we get into it and see what it's about?
Yes.
I love Robb Stark. Poor Robb Stark.
The ascension of Aegon Targaryen was confirmed, and the fate of the Seven Kingdoms sealed on the Field of Fire. Kings Loren Lannister of the Rock and Mern Gardner of the Reach stood against Aegon's invasion. They commanded a united force of 600 banners, 5,000 mounted knights, and 50,000 men at arms. Aegon's host was vastly outnumbered, and when the army of the two kings charged, the invaders turned heel and ran. But Andalmite was no match for Dragonflame. When Aegon unleashed all 3 of his dragons, 4,000 souls were horrendously burned alive on the battlefield, King Mern among them. Realizing all hope was lost, King Loren surrendered. The Starks of Winterfell had no intention of submitting to Targaryen rule. They had reigned as kings in the north since the days of the First Men, and were determined to resist the Targaryen invaders, just as they had resisted the Andals thousands of years before. King Torrhen Stark led his army to the Red Fork just east of Riverrun, hoping to succeed where Loren and Mern had failed. But when Torrhen saw the size of Aegon's now mighty host, along with his monstrous dragons, he knew he couldn't subject his followers to the horror of another Field of Fire. He bent the knee and swore fealty to Aegon, who allowed the Starks to maintain their lordship over the region as Lords Paramount and Wardens of the North. Without question, Torrhen Stark saved thousands of lives that day. He was ever after known as the King Who Knelt.
Wow.
King who knelt.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I think that was a wonderful move that
Absolutely.
king made.
He took his people above him, before him.
Absolutely. And a lot of people, from past histories and stuff, especially in this series, pride is everything, and especially when it's not them first, so they're like, oh yeah, of course we're going to go into battle, and like,
Well,
so
it's
that
almost
was
like with John when he was going to the Wildlings and he had to go. He did before himself. He took care of his people.
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And I think he really did a wonderful thing. Like, he did a very good thing there to protect his people from, because, oh my God, I can't imagine getting burned alive by monsters.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's crazy. And now that they call him the king that knelt, is that like a bad way to say it, or is it a good way? I don't know, but
Right.
I don't know if they're mocking him because, he's a king that knelt, but you never hear about a king kneeling or surrendering, so I'm assuming that's why, of course, that he's named that, because literally he knelt to save his people. So, yeah, I definitely want to learn more about that history. It's so interesting. I really like it so far. It's very cool. This is like the most involved show.
Oh,
like,
wow.
holy crud, all the back history and stuff, so crazy. And I know, like, this is all in the books, right? Like, I know a lot of you watching already read all the books, or most of them, and I know they're still coming out too. And amazing, absolutely amazing details. So crazy.
What an imagination!
Yeah,
It
I
is.
know, and
Wow,
even
wow.
the like
So
different
much
languages and stuff too.
imagination.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's just
God.
so crazy, and it's so
Gosh.
believable too. I love listening to it. It's like, listen to history in school, and now it's like this, and it's like this is fun because it's more like nerdy.
Dragon.
How can,
Yeah.
how can they keep track of everything too when you're writing the story of it?
Yeah, I guess you just have to have the mind to do
Yeah, I
so,
guess
and
so.
yeah, there's just so
All the-
much, and
All
yeah,
the
just
names and
they know
everything
how to
else
do
of
it.
Yeah, guess so.
Yeah, it's crazy. So very cool. So thumbs up.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
great.
thumbs up. Yeah.
So houses like this shows again that the Targaryens are definitely conquerors, and I do love House Targaryen, but I'm very like back and forth, and you don't have to pick one, I guess, but Starks and Targaryens. I still think I love the Starks more, but Targaryens are right there, but it all depending on the day. I'm like, they're both really awesome, so... All right, so I'm going to cut it short. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always. Bye.
Bye.